Alright, tonight we are now making fudge brownies. If you were here about a half an hour ago with me, not that you can tell it was a half an hour ago because of it's in film. We just finished making our brown sugar blondies. I'm going to grab them, come over and show you them. And then we're going to make fudge brownies. So let's see over here.
I want to make some too.
I see 3
Pot holders.
running
I want to
Riverside.
That's right, baby. So if you're here, these were our brown sugar blondies with butterscotch chips. They turned out fabulously beautiful. They smell amazing. All right, I'm going to set these over here and we're going to get started on our brownies. All right, so for our brownies, we're going to start with 10 tablespoons of butter. Ultimately, that is a stick and 2 tablespoons. I'm going to chop those up into slightly smaller pieces just so they melt better. We are going to be melting several ingredients together. You can do a double boiler method, but in all fairness, this method actually works. All right, we're going to need to sit there and be quiet so I can talk, okay? All right, it works really well even in the microwave. I was really surprised at that. I will state that these fudgy brownies might be the best brownies I've ever had, and that's saying something. So anyway, we have our 10 tablespoons of butter kind of chopped up in there. We're also going to add our sugar, which is 1 1/4 cups. Sorry, I'm trying to read it on my computer right now. So we're going to do 1 1/4 cups of white sugar. One. I'm going to go 1/4. That one's 1/4, okay? Alright, so 1 1/4 cup of white sugar.
Bullshit.
Like the snow.
Looks like the snow. Alright, so 1 1/4 cup. And then we're going to also add in here
Blowing in marshmallow.
our cocoa powder. Alright, so with our cocoa powder, we are using... Sorry, I'm apparently throwing things. We're using, let's see, I believe, let me find where I'm on my recipe. 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to start with my tablespoons because we'll get that done and out of the way. 1 tablespoon.
Now that looks like
2 tablespoons. Alright, so now we need 3/4 cups. So 1/2 cup.
3/4 cups.
So we need 1/2, which is 2/4, and that one again, which is 1/4, adds them up to 3/4. Okay. All right, so we're gonna dump all that in there. Now, because I'm gonna try to do the easy method here, I'm going to go and stick it in the microwave. Honestly, it takes a couple minutes. Mix it up for about a minute, stir it, mix it up for about a minute, stir it, however long it takes, and we'll come right back. All right, Olivia, watch them. Make sure they don't go anywhere or do anything, okay?
Oh, he's on the backside. Here
Can I
comes
do
the egg.
it?
One second, baby. We'll let that start warming up. All right, so while that's heating up, in our other bowl, we are going to go ahead and we are going to put our flour and salt. So I have 1/2 cup of flour in this bowl. That's one of the things I really like about this recipe. Where did I put my salt? Did you run away with my salt?
No.
Did you run away with my salt?
No. I went away.
This one because it's not the one I want. It's not this. All right. Well, I guess we'll use this one. I don't need it now. It's got a pinch of salt, so we're gonna put some out here. And okay, yeah, I never would have found it there. All right, and we're gonna take a pinch and put it in there. Thank you, baby. Okay, a little bit of salt in there. All right. Then we are done with the rest. All right, so we have our flour and our salt. You want to stir that up gently for me, please? Alright, so I'm going to go check on the chocolate. We'll be right back.
It looks like fluffy snow.
Well, I got a little bitch that will tie it down.
Watch out.
So funny.
Alright, so the butter's all melted and we're mixing this all up. Now we're going to set this
It
down.
looks like chocolate.
It is chocolate. We're going to let this sit and cool off for a minute before we, actually probably for about 5 minutes before we actually go to mix it all in, okay? So this point, we have the butter chopped up. We've got the sugar and cocoa powder put in. We've melted it up and we're mixing it. We're going to let it cool for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to add our vanilla extract, all right? Vanilla.
Done.
Thank you, my dear. Let me set that there. We'll add the vanilla extract. Hang on. And then we're going to add our 2 cold eggs. Okay? We'll add them one at a time. Make sure they all get mixed in properly. After that, we'll add our flour. Don't touch. It's really, really hot right now. Okay, baby? Okay. All right. Can you set this salt shaker over there, please? You can mix it up in a minute. I gotta make sure it's cool enough. I don't want to end up having you hurt yourself on it, okay? I'm just gonna make sure it's very nice and gritty at this point. It won't be when you're done, but it's really nice and gritty, which is really nice. And I just want to make sure I go through and push any lumps, so we don't never want to bite into a straight lump of cocoa powder. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go, since you know I don't want to be here with you guys making you stay all night. So we're now gonna add our vanilla. We are going with, let's see, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Pour that on in there. Okay. Can you set this over there, please, my darling? Thank you. So we're gonna stir that in. And then we're going to add our eggs one at a time, right, Olivia? So, and I have my oven preheated to 325. As we had already made the blondies, it was hot, so we just turned it down to 325. And here's 1 egg, fresh from the farm. Or I should say fresh from our backyard. There we go. That all mixed in. Alrighty, now we're going to add our second egg.
It's almost done.
Thank you, Olivia. It's very helpful. Okay, we're going to add our second egg in there. Set that one off to the side.
That looks beautiful, but it's trying to get a little bit bigger.
Okay. So we're going to mix that up really nice. Alright, so now our eggs are in there. Next up, we are going to add the flour salt mixture. Thank you. Can you hold that for me?
I want to make this some more.
We're going to dump this on in here.
I wanted to do that.
Right? And we're going to stir this up.
I just wanted to do
Now here's where you're going to start getting, I'm apparently making a mess, where it's going to start turning into brownies, really, and less of the gritty sugar mixture. But before we finish up, your blondies are on the oven. Before we finish this up, I decided not to add nuts, but I am going to add candy.
Can I do it?
You want to pour some candy in there?
Can I do it?
So- Here, I'll set those there for you, okay? Alright, so I'm going to add candy. You can put as much as you, or as little as you want. That's about half the bag.
I don't like this candy.
Well, you don't have to like those candies. I like those candies. I am using Heath candy
I'm
bar
gonna put
bits.
them in.
I used about half the bag. That way I have the rest for another batch. Alright, and get it all mixed together. Alright, so once we're all mixed up, I'm going to grab my rubber spatula And I'm going to grease the pan. Last time I made these, I did, you're going to stir that for a minute?
Yeah.
Last time I made these, I did line the pan with foil. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to try a greased pan just to see how that goes. Be right back.
Mixing it. Chop, chop, chop.
Alright, I'm going to use a 9x9 inch baking pan, and I'm going to use my cooking spray.
This looks so good. This looks
One thing I
like
admit,
candy chocolate.
I do like about the lining it with
Ow,
the
Mommy,
foil
ow, my
is
thumb.
that afterwards I pulled the whole thing out of the pan and I used the foil to
This
cover
looks
up all the brownies so I could just put them away that
colorful.
way.
It looked like slime.
Right, it's not. Alright, so now that we're done here, let me have this please. Stop. We're going to take this and we're going to put it into our pan. Alright, I'm going to scrape some of it off the spoon
I
here.
wanted some.
That's wonderful. I'm glad that you want some right now.
No, I want to
Can you hold this for me?
Yeah.
Can you hold this for me? I don't need you to mix it. I need you to keep it out of there, actually. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put it in. What did I tell you on camera about doing this? Alright, go in the other room.
No.
Seriously, I already had to apologize for you being pouty in the last video. I don't want to do it again.
I don't want it. I don't want it like this.
This is what comes from baking with a 4-year-old at like 8, 9, 10, whatever the heck time o'clock at night it is. Alright, so that's all in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it in the oven at 325 for 25 minutes. Alright? And then you'll be done. And these are amazing. Check them at 25 minutes though, because when I made them before, they needed to take a little bit longer. So I'm going to start them at 25, and if they need to go to 30, I will. Alright? Have a good night. Hope you enjoy the brownies.